Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I just wanted to come in and run my head itching. I'm sorry. What's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I just wanted to come in and run my mouth and talk about the girls and boys in Huntsville. This episode was cute. It was cute. It was good. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so the episode starts off with Nell and Chris. They're out eating pizza. Chris is eating his pizza with a fork. He is literally eating that pizza like it's a piece of cake. You know, like you get a fork, you kind of like dip it down like this, or you eat it. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how you hold your fork. That's how he was. He was cutting the pizza. I know some people who eat pizza with a fork. I think it's weird. Okay, I think it's a little bougie, just a little bougetto. You know, just a little uppity. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna eat mine with my hand. Okay, just get my. Um, but anyways, so they're out eating. Nell wants to talk about the whole fiasco dealing with how Martell met Latricia. Chris starts to talk. I'm not gonna lie, Nell was on Chris, baby. Chris starts to talk, and as he's speaking, I did rewind it, and it did look as though it appeared as though he wasn't looking Nell directly in the face. So when he started talking to Nell, Nell was like, "If you're not lying, then you will be looking at me." He was like, "I am looking at you." She was like, "No, you're looking past me." He was. It looked basically from what I saw. Now again, I'm not sitting in her seat, but even when I rewound it, it did appear that Chris was looking past Nell. But anyways, so this is what Chris said. Chris says that he was at the gym. Martell called him blah 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 and was asking basically were there any hot girls, cute girls, were any fine women at the gym? And um, Chris was like, yeah, some nice looking girls up here. And he said that he gave Martell Latricia's last name. He doesn't know Latricia. Basically, he doesn't know her personally, but he does know that somewhere down the line they are family. I can get that. You can have family, not really know them. I don't really know the person personally. I think her last name is Smith, but I can't remember her first name. That's Tracy's daughter. You know what I'm saying? So I can believe that part. Um, he then said that while he was on the phone with Martell, he said Martell was able to find Latricia while they were on the phone. Now, after I thought about it, I like Chris, I do. And I don't think that Martell is just some dummy. Because anytime, let me tell you something. One thing I done figured out, when you're looking for a man or a woman online, girl, you can. Have you ever figured out how you could turn into a girl, Inspector Gadget, when it's time to find a man or a woman online? It can be very simple. Okay. But the verdict is still out on this because it's hard for me to believe that the only information that he gave this man Martell was Latricia's last name, and he was able to locate her. It had to be more than that. It had to be, oh, Tisha's son. I'm not Tisha. I was trying to make up a name. Natalie's daughter. Natalie that lives on the north side. The one who used to be married to Keith. Yeah, her daughter. I can't remember her last name, but I think it's Smith. You see what I'm saying? I feel like it had to be more to the conversation. It's hard for me to believe that Chris just gave Martell this name, a last name, and that's all he gave him. And based off of the last name alone, he was able to find how Latricia looked and find her profile online. Do y'all believe that? Because that's what Chris said. That's what I remember him saying. He gave Martell Latricia's last name, and he was able to locate Latricia while they were on the phone. And then Nell says boys will be boys. And then Chris says women will be women. And they started talking about how Nell, it's not a big deal. Listen, this is the thing. One thing I don't like, and I will say, I do believe there can be a line of disrespect. Don't get it twisted. But I don't like when people get married or get into relationships and all of a sudden, girl, they act like you're supposed to go blind. You're like, girl, just because I'm with you, don't know that I don't mean that I don't know what a fine man look like. Just because I'm with you doesn't mean I don't know what a nice looking woman looks like. So they started playing flashback back clips of Nell basically calling Moses fine, Martell fine. She called Ken Megatron. That was funny. I don't remember her calling Ken Megatron, but she called Ken Megatron. He got all those muscles, girl. Ken got muscles popping out his fingernails, baby. Um, but yeah, anyway, so they talked about that. It wasn't that big of a deal to either one of them that he basically was saying that there were nice looking women at the gym. But again, y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think it was more to the story? Like I said, I don't. The last video, I think I do remember saying that I believe Chris, but this time I don't know. I think that I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say not guilty or guilty. But I need some. They had. I'm hoping Chris said more than that, and they just didn't show it in the show, because I do not believe that all he gave Martell was a last name, and that's it. And that's how Martell found Latricia. Oh, and then I forgot to tell y'all this. Um, uh, Nell brought up, so basically you were trying to hook him up while we were basically like, and I'm paraphrasing what Nell said, but basically you were trying to hook him up while we were mentoring them on in their relationship. I'm talking about Martell and Melody. And then Chris said, no, at this point, basically, the relationship was done. Melody was moving out. Now I said, hold up. That could be true. But I feel like what Nell said probably leans more to the truth. That's why I say you can't trust none of these. No, like, a part of me does believe that Chris and Nell were still mentoring or helping them work through whatever issues they probably had. I don't know. And I could still see Chris saying, yeah, it's a girl up here. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, Nell know her man. Hello? Wasn't Chris cheating on his wife allegedly with Nell and then turned around and cheated on Nell? Hello? Girl, I'm just saying. Um, so girl, here we go, baby. Girl, Maurice and Melody. Baby. Can I say something before we even get into this mess? Can I say something before we get into the mess? Hey, millimeters. Girl, I love y'all. It's all love over here. Girl, I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke, girl. That's how y'all show up at people's jobs and stuff. That's what the people say. That's what Stormy said. Stormy said y'all showed up at her job. But listen, I believe that one thing I feel like people do is that they don't. I feel like people feel that you have to take one side and one side only. I think that in some situations, one you could look at a situation and one person be right in one area, one person be wrong, one person be right, the other person is wrong, or both people can be right. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in this, I feel like Maurice made some points, and I feel like Melody made some good points. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so Maurice wants to meet up with Melody, and this is one thing I do love about this show. I and maybe it's because of the men. While they might be trifling, I do believe, like, I'm a big believer that men and women can get into arguments. And girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, Melody has gotten into plenty of arguments with these men on the show, whether it's Martell, Maurice, Marceau. You know what I'm saying? Now Martell, he'll get disrespectful, But I'm just saying that I believe that men and women can get into an argument, have some type of confrontation, and then not just go left. And girl, your head be between a washer and a dry getting banged up. You know what I'm saying? I like the fact that Melody. I like the fact that the women on the show don't get in between Melody and Marceau or Melody and Maurice. Like, girl, y'all all grown. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so she goes down to see Maurice, and he basically says that, you've been saying some disparaging things about me. And Melody said, I don't know about all this disparaging stuff. You've done that on your own. I said, wait. I said, wait a minute. Hey, I said, all right, girl. They about to fight.
Wait! What is the tea? The girls are fighting! No! The girls are fighting! Why? Why?
Now, I try to be as honest as possible, and I try to be objective as possible, and I try to be as fair as possible. And Maurice, we're gonna have to just call a thing a thing. We're gonna get into Melody in a little bit, but Melody hasn't disparaged your character. Maurice, you've done a good job of that on your own. Even if you take away the DUI, can we just talk? Can we just have some girl? Can we have some real? Can we have some real talk? Shout out to Andrew Gabor. Can we have some real talk? Maurice, even if you take away the DUI, the way that we clocked you and the way that you move around season 3 or 4, right? Because I remember a lot of us, including me, really thought that Maurice was just this upstanding guy and this pulled up guy, and we really didn't think. I really didn't think that he was as misogynistic and sexist as he is. And I remember Kimmy saying, I think it was the first season, that Maurice and Marceau are just alike. And here I go, right, trying to tell somebody about their man. No, he not. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't even know this man. No, he not. No, he not. He not like Marceau. Shit. Yes, the hell he is. Probably worse. He just wore a suit and a tie. That's how they trick you, right? Maurice, baby, your big ass was climbing on top of your wife while she had one foot into glory, fighting for her life, dealing with breast cancer because you had to bust a nut. That showed a lot of us the type of person that you were in that moment. So we don't even have to talk about the DUI when it comes to disparaging your character because Melody was 1,000,000% correct. You've done that on your own. Okay? And that's just what it is. And that's only one incident, and that's enough for me to name. That's enough. Now we're gonna get back to the DUI, but I'm just saying we don't even have to mention the DUI to talk about things that Maurice has done. If I say Maurice Marceau, y'all know what I'm talking about. But the things that Maurice has done to disparage his own character. Um, he basically asked Melody, were the comments about the DUI your get back? I am a big believer, and I'm not changing my mind at all. I am a big believer that Melody is going around town wanting to get her lick back. Even though Melody knew that her husband was an ain't shit nickel. She knew it prior to this show. But I think that, and someone said this in the comment section, I don't think that Melody probably knew. This is what I think. I don't know this to be factual. I do think the group knew about Melody and Martell. I do. I think they probably heard rumors. I think they knew tea. They knew information. Um, well, I think I think that is kind of because didn't and one point when earlier in the season, earlier in the I think first season or second season when Tisha and Melody got into it, she brought up that card allegedly that Arion had matching cards with Martell or something. I can't remember, girl. But I don't think that Melody knew that they probably knew information, was privy to information that she wasn't privy to. So even though again, Melody knew that Martell was cheating on her, I don't think that she knew that they knew, or she probably thinks that they knew more than what she probably thought that they knew. If that makes sense, what I'm saying, you know. Um, but I do believe that Melody is on her get back. I think Melody is pissed. I do think that she thought about it, and I think that she felt a certain way because I have been saying this for seasons. That girl, these are not your friends; these are Martell friends. I think now it may be a little shift, a small shift, especially with what's happening between Letitia and Marceau and Martell. I think they may be more Team Melody now. Um, but I think that Melody is on her girl, I'm getting my lick back tour. I do. Um, he says, I think your introduction to the public was an embarrassing situation that you had to go through. I said, oh, girl, the girl. I said, oh. And then Melody said, my introduction on this platform was an amazing mom, amazing wife, amazing entrepreneur. I'm going to say this much. Even if you think that's what let me say something. Even if that's what you think that your introduction was on this show, people remember your introduction on this show as the issues that you were going through with your husband and the infidelities that we found out due to your husband. You see what I'm saying? Like that. When people talk about Martell and Melody, they don't bring up Melody being an excellent wife or an excellent mother or an excellent entrepreneur. They'll bring up what happened between Martell and Melody and Ariana. Um, introduction, but what do they remember you by? Hello. um, do you believe? Wait. Oh, he says, do you believe you're all over the stuff with Martell? All the past embarrassment. Maurice was Maurice. Girl, Maurice was really. I ain't gonna lie. Maurice was low key. Girl, Maurice was low key gagging Melody in her face. He would not let up on. He would not let Melody up off the fact that he thinks. Well, no, it's not a fact, but he thinks that Melody is unhappy. He kept driving that point home. He kept calling her unhappy. He kept making sure that he said that basically you were embarrassed. I said, girl, this is a mess. You know, I like this type of carrying on. And then she says, why are you asking me that? And what does that have to do with you? Well, this is why I have to then really get on Maurice's side. What did that DUI have to do with you? What did that lipstick that you say you saw on his face have to do with you? The same way that lipstick on his face that you said you saw has something to do with you, right? It's the same way he thinks him asking questions about are you over Martell, he thinks it has something to do with him. Like that's the thing. Like you, like we want that. This is the thing. We want to be in folks' business, but we don't want nobody to be in ours. You can go around town asking everybody about the lipstick on Martell's face, but when Maurice asks you right to your face about something that happened between you and Martell, now all of a sudden it ain't none of his. It ain't none of what does it have to do with you? Y'all see what I'm saying? And then he says, I believe that Melody is out to destroy. Hurt people hurt people. Again, I believe that too. I'm sorry, I believe it. I believe that Melody is going to get her lick back one way or another. I do. I just do. And I'm not changing it. Melody is going to make sure that girl, since I found out my husband cheated on me, I do believe this. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. I believe there are certain, let me just say something. Melody is a very attractive woman. She's smart. You know what I'm saying? You can't take that, even though Melody's not my favorite person, you can't take that stuff away from Melody, right? And I think that's part of the reason why I think when you have like attractive women who look like Melody, right? Smart women, and their life is not as picture perfect as one would think. And now on top of that, girl, I'm embarrassed on TV. And then I find out that y'all really knew some information that I probably wasn't privy to, or I didn't think y'all knew. Now I'm really pissed off. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, girl, he says, I like the old Mel. And then she says, you don't even talk to me. I haven't sat down like this with you in years. You don't know this Melody. She said that was Melody Hope. This is Melody Rogers. I said, wait. I said, I'm not gonna lie. Girl, I'm not gonna lie. I love the back and forth between Maurice and Melody. It was like a tennis match. Girl, and nobody was letting up. Girl, I love this. What I girl, I love when the girls stand in their shit, right or wrong. Well, not wrong, but you know what I'm saying. Like, girl, Melody wasn't letting up, and Maurice wasn't letting up. I'm standing in my shit, I'm gonna stand, and she gonna stand in hers. I love it. Um, and then he says, basically, maybe it's the group that changes your energy. And then she says, you think? And can I say something, y'all? Me personally, I don't think that Melody is this outstanding reality star. I don't. I don't even consider Melody a reality star. I think Melody blew up because of her situation. I do. I think because she got cheated on, and a lot of people, kind of, a lot of women related to that. The same way I think that happened with what's her name, Ariana from Vanderpump Rules. She cheated. She got cheated on. You know her situation, girl. Girl, he was over there screwing the girl in their bed on their house. That was a mess. Um, what was I about to say? Oh, that's what I was about to say. Sorry, but I do believe that girl Melody, uh, the group, she doesn't really fool with them. She doesn't. She doesn't fool with the group. It's gonna be. It's not a big deal to me. It's not because I don't need to see Melody and Martell in the same space. To me, the season is still good, great. I ain't gonna say great, but it's still a good season. Even with Martell and Melody not engaging with each other, I don't think that it really will. I don't think it. I don't think it'll. I don't think. I don't think that them not interacting with each other has changed the season. You see what I'm saying? Um, but but at some point, is it time for Melody to move on from the show? Do y'all think Melody can carry a show by herself? I don't think she can. But do y'all think that Melody can carry a show by herself? Because girl, if you don't really fool with nobody in the cast, and the cast changes your energy, and basically, if she said, and I'm glad she said it, that if y'all fool with him, then baby, y'all not gonna fool with me. Now that I'm 100% with Melody. You're not going to be, and that's what I wish she would have told Destiny, because I feel like that's what it was with Destiny. Girl, I don't care what nobody say. Destiny was a damn good friend to Melody while they were friends. Now, whatever missteps Destiny had after the friendship, that's after the friendship. But while they were friends, Destiny was loyal as hell to Melody. And instead of Melody just saying, "Girl, listen, I hate to be this girl to put you in the middle, but either you have to choose me or Martell." Because I think that's what it was. I think that's what it's been this whole time with everybody in the group, with anyone, basically. If you're going to be cool with him, bitch, you're not going to be cool with me. And that I completely understand. Because Martell was hell on wheels when it came to Melody. But she pretty much told him that. If you're gonna fool with if y'all fool with Martell, y'all not gonna fool with me at the same time. So And then she says that you used to do a lot of smirking and laughing about stuff that really wasn't funny. I can get with Melody with that. I'm with Melody on that one too. Even though I do believe that Melody is not the best communicator, she's not. She probably does what a lot of us do, right? Hold stuff in, get pissed off, be like, "Girl, I'm done," and you go on, right? No, don't nobody really know why you pissed off, why you mad. Um, but it would hurt my feelings too if I was going through something serious, as what she was going through with Martell, and I look up and y'all giggling and laughing and smirking, because this ain't no shit to be laughing about. But she should have also told them too, this ain't no shit to be laughing about. You know what I'm saying? So Maurice apologizes to Mel. He says he apologizes, and then she apologizes to him for anything that she could have possibly done to hurt him, girl. And that was it. But it was a good scene though. I enjoyed it. Baby, wait. I said, oh, woo, woo, woo. Girl, Marquez, Chris, and Marceau. Let me tell y'all something. Girl, Marceau makes me sick. Girl, but Marceau, when I tell you Marceau, girl, a part of me, when I tell you I almost go up for Marceau. Marceau is a hot ass mess. He's misogynistic. He's sexist. He thinks he knows it all. He thinks he's the smartest motherfucker in the room, right? Girl, we have been dragging Marceau since season 1. Okay, when he didn't even know his son was allergic to something and almost took him out and sent him to glory. We've been dragging Marceau. We've been dragging Marceau. But girl, it's something about Marceau. Like I always say, Marceau is the likable asshole. It's something about Marceau that girl, he just got I'm sorry. Marceau got a soft spot in my heart. Girl, I kind of go up on Marceau. I do. Marceau is a kiki to me. Marceau is good reality TV. He really, really is. Marceau to me, girl, I'm about to shock y'all with what I'm about to say. To me, as a man, okay, when I think of the men in reality TV, I feel like Martell is up there with like a Peter. Like, I feel like Martell could like go back and forth with Kenya and they give us good TV. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like, I don't think a lot of the men can give good TV like Marceau can give good TV. Like Peter used to give good TV who was on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Peter knew what to do on Atlanta. I feel like that's how Marceau is. Marceau knows what to do on this show. I'm getting ahead of myself because I want to get to him and Melody in a little bit. So they meet up with, again, it's Marceau and Chris. They meet up with Marquez. Girl. So Marquez says my worst fear was a man coming in taking care of my kids. My emotions probably come off as tough. Marceau said they don't. Marquez, your emotions, what you display, does not. That's how you know that he's completely detached, because him thinking that the way that he shows up makes him look tough. No, it makes you look unhinged. It makes you look like, girl, we need to get an extra lock on the door. It makes you feel like we need to put a chair up against the door, but it doesn't make Marquez look tough. Okay. He says, I know I'm the one holding this situation back. That's what he said. He said, I know I'm the one that's holding this situation back. Marquez is going to have to get to a point where, girl, it's time to move on. Do I believe there are some inconsistencies in the story? Do I believe that Ken and Latricia, they were not necessarily probably having sex, but there was some type of emotional connection there? Someone like someone? I do believe that. That with Marquez, I will give Marquez that much. I do. And when Maurice clocked that tea, not Maurice, Marceau. When Marceau clocked that tea at Kimmy's taste testing, I said, "Ooh, girl, he clocked the tea." Because they said that Ken said anytime I guess Marquez will come back in the picture, he will back off. Well, if there's nothing going on, there's nothing to back off from. Um, and then he goes to, do you think Martell would have a problem if I asked Melody out? And let me tell y'all something. I really do believe this. I do believe that men, once they, girl, put their claws into you, people feel like now like you're looked at as his property. Let's just say, what Martell and Melody been divorced for how long? 4 or 5, 3, 4, 5 years? It's been a minute now since they've been divorced. You don't know Martell. So if you want to ask Melody out, just ask her out. What the fuck Martell gonna do about it? You see what I'm saying? And the simple fact that you know that Martell didn't even have respect for you when he was still trying to, girl, crawl between Latricia's legs when he invited her over, right? And she accepted the invite to work out. Girl, Muscle Martell needs somebody to help him work out. And you're actually legally married to Latricia. And at the time you were married, he didn't worry about you. But now all of a sudden you're worried about what Martell would say, or would he have a problem if you ask Melody out on a date? Melody does not belong to Martell. Melody can do what she want to do. Now, since I got that out the way, Marquez, you're broke. You ain't even got no gas money, nigga. The nigga who you don't like had to give you gas money to come down to your son's graduation. Ain't that what they said? Ain't that what they said? Didn't they say that they give him some gas money? And here you are trying to date. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up with Martell and with Melody and Marquez, because he tried to do a little 1-2 in her face at the brunch. Whatever, what is it called? Melody has mimosas with Melody. Not to go off into a whole rant. I want all of y'all, and I say this with love. I want all y'all out there who are in a situation that has not been completely um, resolved, to stop bringing people into your circus. Here you have Marquez, who's still legally married, still fussing and fighting with his wife, technically his wife, and the boyfriend, but you're also wanting to date. What if, and I'm just saying, what if Melody would have said yes and didn't know about your situation, and then y'all kind of hit it off, and now y'all like each other? Now you're bringing this person into some shit that, quite frankly, you shouldn't even brought them in. You shouldn't even be like, y'all don't even need to be worried about no dating when you got all the shit that Marquez got going on. You got too much going on to be trying to bring somebody into that bullshit. Too much. Your daughter walking right past you at the goddamn fish fry. You have to yank her by her arm for her to give you a hug. Your son basically said you embarrassing him. Hello? Every time Latricia see you, she want to hit your ass upside the head with a dumbbell. Girl, you got Ken ready to break your body in like 5 different parts. Girl, and you trying to go on a date and bring this woman into this mess? You see what I'm saying? Anyways, I just want to get that off my chest. Marquez, back to you. Marquez, you're broke. I want y'all to, you know what I want people to stop. I'm about to say something that's about to piss a lot of people off. Stop dating when you broke. Yeah, I said it. Stop dating when you're broke. I'm sorry, girl. Because you have kids, you ain't got no gas money. Melody has 4 kids. What the fuck are you gonna do with Melody? What are you going to bring to Melody's life besides chaos and confusion and an empty wallet? What? You ain't got no gas money. Melody live in a big ass house on the hill. Okay, she got 4 kids. Melody keep her hair done. She keep her outfit on. You ain't never seen Melody out of place. Girl, what you gonna do? Girl, if anything, Melody gonna be taking care of Marquez. Anyways, let's move on. Chris said, you made the decision to leave your marriage. What is the trigger coming back? And wait, no, he said, I'm sorry. They were asking, he was talking about being triggered. That's what Marquez was saying. He was talking about him being triggered. And then Chris said, basically, you left your marriage. You made the decision to leave your marriage. So what's the trigger coming back and seeing her happy with someone else? Girl, you literally said it, Chris, because she's happy with someone else. And like they clocked his tea. Let me tell you what it is. I've been telling y'all this. Girl, I've been telling y'all this. Marquez did not think that Trisha was going to move on. He thought that he was going to leave Trisha destitute, girl, stressed out, crying, indigent, girl, just a mess. And when he came back, baby, Trisha had got her body together. She got another man. And she had moved on by her business. You left your wife, which is fine. Let me just say something. I don't think anybody should stay in any marriage situation if they are not happy. I don't give a damn if there's kids involved or not. I'm a happy type. I feel like people should be happy. So if you're truly not happy with your life, then girl, move on. But you cannot move on and then come back and then be surprised or pissed off or triggered that girl, the person who you left has moved on too. We're gonna keep talking though. He basically says that they don't know all the details. And certain things have occurred that don't go away. Like I said, the only thing I'm gonna give Marquez is that there could have that Ken. Listen, I think Ken was liking Latricia, and I think Latricia was liking Ken. But I think that they just didn't want to cross that line at the time. But I definitely think that feelings were involved. I don't think they were having sex. I just think they liked each other. Marquez tells Maurice, he said to Chris, you're more empathetic than he is. And then Marceau said, Marcel said, I'm not going to be empathetic, basically. And he says, you want me to say that this man came and took your family? Why are you mad? And then he said, I'm not mad at all because I don't think he came and took your family. I said, come on, bitch.
Hey! Glory to God.
Bitch. When I tell you Marceau was wearing Marquez out, girl, when he said, I'm not saying that at all. I don't think he came and took your family. This is what he told his nigga to his face. I said, this is what I'm talking about. Let me tell y'all something. This is, girl, Marceau is a mess. He is. But when the nigga is right, Marceau is one of those people like when he's right, he's right. When he's wrong, he's wrong. When Marceau is all the way right, the motherfucker is all the way right. When he's wrong, he's all the way wrong. Marceau said basically, and I'm paraphrasing, but this is basically what he said. I think you thought you had Trisha in the palm of your hand. You could get up and leave. And now you have to face the reality of your decision that your daughter is sitting on another man's lap. I said, bitch.
Boom.
Okay, there's more to this story. I'm serious.
He said, and the problem is he's doing the things that you didn't do. He said, you need to take full accountability in the next situation, do better. I said, come on, bitch. Let's see, Marcel was dragging the shit out that nigga. Girl, he said, girl, the problem is he's doing the things that you didn't do. You need to take full accountability, and then the next situation, do better. He said, people who are upset because of the kids don't leave the kids. I said, come on, bitch. Marcel was dragging that nigga by his goddamn fingernails. I said, oh, girl, he not letting up. When I said Marcel had his foot on the gas, Marcel had his foot on the gas, baby, and was not letting up. Baby, he would not put his foot on the brake. Marcel said Marcel's foot stayed on the gas. He said, I have to give Martell his props that when his kids are out of his life for a second, he's walking around crying about his kids. Now, like I said, I have to say this too. Marceau is of the belief that you stay together for the kids. I don't believe that, but I don't have a family. I don't believe you stay together for the kids. I think that, girl, because for the most part, I don't know too many people who. I just believe that when you're unhappy, it affects everybody in the household. And I just believe that. If mama is unhappy, the kid's going to be unhappy. If daddy is unhappy, the kid's going to be unhappy. I don't give a no. As much as people try and act like, oh, no, they won't sense, girl, kids sense. Okay? I sensed it. Yeah. I'm sure other people that were in households where the mother and father didn't get along, they sensed it. Anyways, so Melody, what is it called? Mimosas with Melody, girl. Um, she hasn't had this in a minute, right? I remember. I think they played a flashback clip of like the first or second season. Maybe she hasn't. They just probably haven't shown it. But anyways, Marceau. I'm sorry. I love Marceau. One time Marceau was a kiki to me. Marceau walked in. It's stupid. Marceau is so stupid to me. Girl, Marceau walked in like a celebrity. He was walking past some of the millimeters. Get it out. Just what he was saying. Get it out. Get it out. Look at what you came to see. Look at what you came to see. I was cracking up. Girl, he was walking past the millimeter. They were all nice. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the millimeter's just crazy. I think that every fan base, whether it's the Beehive, the Navy, I do think they have crazed fans. But just because you like someone doesn't mean that you're like, a nutcase. But anyways, the ones who they showed on TV, they were nice. They gave Marceau a hug. It was actually really, really, really funny. He referred to them as Mar soldiers. I said, come on, Mar soldiers. He said that Tisha, what he said, bitch, I'm sorry. Marceau is funny to me. When he said Tisha couldn't make it because she's in Vegas celebrating sin with the originator of sin, her mom, Wanda. So, anyways, they're at the thing. Marquez walks over and speaks to Kimmy, Maurice, and Ken and Latricia, girl, and like Marquez, girl, I hate to say it, but Marquez just gives me bomb vibes. Like the simple fact that Ken was at the table sending his children money. Oh! Listen, people go through stuff. Sometimes you just ain't got it. I understand. I could understand 1,000,000%. But it's just like, I don't know, Ken. Like, I mean, not Ken. I think Marquez. I think Marquez loves being on TV now. I do think that. I think Marquez gives me, like, before he walks into a scene, they give him a shot or two of Casamigos, and he goes to work. It's bad enough that you walked into your children's party empty-handed, girl. Not a card, girl. Not a gift card, not $20, girl. Not no pack of links to go on a grill, nothing. And now we have a scene where your ex-wives or whatever boyfriend is sending your kids money, and you're right at. I will say this much. I feel like, and this is just what I feel. I feel like Latricia. I think we're all grown, and I think we're all responsible for our own actions. But a part of me feels, because Latricia has made a comment before that basically, like, in a way, Ken is too nice. Like, she wants Ken to stop being so nice. And have you noticed that Ken is like, when he says things now, it's always something about kind of being violent in a way. Like, if I was in my early 30s, like, basically I'll whoop his ass. Or like, I can only take, it's always, I feel like in a way, I feel like Ken is putting on for Latricia. And again, it's not to take away anything from Ken, because Ken is a grown ass man. But I feel like Latricia is going to gas Ken up to a point where Ken is going to end up eventually hurting Marquez, and his ass going to end up in jail. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, I don't know, girl. Marquez, you're gonna have to do the same thing, like the same way I felt about Marquez, the same way I felt about Ken. I mean, not Ken. Marquez wanting to talk to Melody, even though he got this shit show, is the same way I feel about Latricia. In a way, girl, you knew you had this mess at home, and you still brought somebody else into the situation. Now, at this point, I guess Ken is deciding to stay in the situation. I just think it's unfair to people, especially if they don't know. I guess it's one thing if you tell them, listen, it's a lot of shit going on, and I don't know if you really want to be a part of this. And they say, well, I don't mind, but I don't know too many people. Well, you never know. Let me shut up. Anyways, I was about to start rambling. Okay. So they all, not they're all out in the hallway, but oh, girl. Girl, let me get this out of the way. Bitch, some of y'all told me, I don't know how y'all be knowing this tea. I thought I was nosy. Y'all asses be nosy. Girl, so Stormy's back. She looks stressed. She gained a couple of pounds, maybe because she's in IVF, right? Does IVF make you gain weight? I'm sure it probably does, right? Or doing IVF? Not in IVF. She's doing IVF, right? She gained a couple of pounds. We all have, okay? Girl, Moses is in jail, and I don't think they knew. Girl, you could tell. I really don't think they knew. You could tell by the way that everybody was shocked when it came up that I really don't think Melody knew. I don't think Kimmy knew. I don't think any of them knew that Moses was in jail. I think they were shocked. So Moses, and some of the cousins told me some months ago, Moses is really locked up. Girls, I guess he broke his probation. I think he did the same thing that Jennifer's that scammer who she with, alleged scammer girl. I think he traveled out of the city without permission. Girl, y'all love playing with them white people. Now y'all asses be locked up, and then y'all want to start marching and shit when you know your black ass should have been still in the first goddamn place. Now it makes sense on why. Destiny. Ooh, excuse me. Now it makes sense why Destiny had to always go see him because he really it wasn't able to leave. And I guess they must have found out. I'm assuming they must have found out he was shooting this show. That's what some of the people were saying. That's why he got. That's he. You know why he's in jail. Whew-wee. So, anyways, what was I saying? Oh, Marceau, Melody, Marquez, and Stormy were out in the hallway. They were just talking, and Melody was saying her feet were hurting. You know, she had on heels. And Marquez said something about, like, I guess offering to, I don't know, he offered something to her. I don't know if I can't remember if he said rub her feet or offer her a chair or something. Um, anyway, he touched her shoulder. I don't know why I got so pissed off. Girl, he like touched her shoulder like you need something. Something like he said something like that. Nigga, get your hand off my shoulder. Motherfucking hands on me.
Hey, you get your fucking hands off me.
He said Marceau said he's so sweet, right? And then Marquez, of course, being a nigga that he is, not sweet in that way. Marquez, ain't nobody ever thought you was gay. We think you a bum. We think you broke. We ain't ever thought you was gay. Okay. Girl. Anyways, he was like, no, I'm saying caring. He was like, yeah, I'm very nurturing. I said, girl, these niggas will lie. And then Marceau says, didn't you say you had her blushing? You told me you did. And then he said, you told me in Fletcher that you thought that man was attracted to you. He was like, no, then Melody said that I was what? Somebody said online, and this was the perfect example. They said that Martell and Melody, not Martell and Melody, they said Marceau and Melody remind them of Pam and Martin. And that is, I feel like that's exactly the relationship that Marceau and Melody have. I feel like Marceau and Melody have the best chemistry on this show. No, I don't think that Martell wants to. Let me say something. A nigga will fuck anything. Okay? But no, I don't think that Marceau is attracted to Melody like that. I think that Marceau understands the assignment. I think that Melody understands the assignment. I think they both know that when they get together, I think they just make good TV. I really do. I love when they have scenes with Melody and Marceau because it's just kind of like nobody takes it too seriously. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, he said he said you told me in Fletcher you thought that Mel was attracted to you, and then Melody said that I was what? And then he said no. I said I would have no. He said no. I said would Martell have a problem if I asked her out? And then Melody said, "Ask me out? Aren't you married?" And then Marceau said he's married, but he identifies as single. And then she said, "Oh, he took a page from your book." Then Marcel said, and then Marceau said, "No, ma'am, no, ma'am." Oh God, I'm sorry, girl. That be kicking because this show. I find some of the simplest stuff funny as hell. I'm always laughing at something, child. I laugh at shit that I shouldn't be laughing at. Anyways, um, um, and that was pretty much it. Oh, Melody and Nell. More soldiers. Melody and Nell. I forgot about them. Nell is trying on wedding dresses. You know, I think their 30th anniversary. I think they're doing a vow renewal. And long story short, Nell feels some type of way that Melody is trying to downplay their relationship. She says that she actually was indeed a mentor to Melody. Now, let me say something. Somebody said this in the comments, and I actually think I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like I do remember Melody referring to Nell as a mentor. I feel like I've heard Melody say that before. And I think it was the episode when she threw the glass when they were outside at Nell's house. I could be wrong though. Anyways, it's really not that big of a deal to me. I mean, girl, it doesn't matter to me, but clearly it's a big of a deal to Nell. I feel like Nell is one of the. I like Nell, but I do feel like Nell is one of those people who, like, girl, it really don't like. I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't want to downplay it. But it's like, girl, you really? Because that Melody said that, girl, you're not a mentor. I mean, I guess, girl. I guess, girl. Like, girl, you cut up and acted a fool when y'all went to St. Thomas about the room, about a card, about a place card. You got your own room in your own bed. You got your own bedroom, and your own bathroom, I believe. You want to act a fool about a place card. But nonetheless, girl, it doesn't matter what I think, girl. Nell is bothered by Melody not saying that they were a mentor. I think it's a slight difference with somebody trying to downplay your relationship, or I guess downplay the title of what you felt like you were in the relationship. Like for example, I could see how Dorit could be pissed, not to bring other shows in, but I could see how Dorit could be pissed off on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with Kyle trying to act like they were not friends. Like, but you're just trying to act like we wasn't friends at all. Compared to like Nell, who I feel is like just on some, girl, you knew I was your mentor. You're trying to downplay me being your mentor. I mean, I guess. Is that the same thing? I don't know why I feel like it's different. I don't know, girl. Anyways, maybe I just don't care. Um, and then Melody says, "It hurts me. You felt some way. You could have had an apology 6 months ago." And I put, "Girl, you do the same thing. The same thing. Really, we could say the same thing with Maurice. Like, girl, you really probably could have had an apology 6 months ago. Let me. I think we all have done it. I know I've done it. I'm not gonna say act like I haven't. Where you mad about some shit, you don't go. You go around pissed off. Don't say nothing. Don't nobody know you're mad. What you're mad for? You just got a stank ass face, right? Fucked up attitude. But this ain't about us. Maurice could have apologized years ago if you would have let him know that, girl, that actually hurt my feelings when you were smirking and laughing. But you didn't. You waited years and years and years later to bring it up. And now he's apologizing when it really could have been something that could have been discussed, talked about, and been done with. But I do believe Melody is one of those people who really don't tell you what's going on. I think she'll just be mad. I think she'll just be mad about some shit and expect you to know. Anyways, and then it went off. You heard she's having a bachelorette party. You heard Nell tell Melody, "Everybody know you freaky." Hey. Hmm. Anyways, and that was it, child. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear nothing about a mentor. I mean, I guess I don't want to. I don't want to sound like it's not that big of a deal because Nell says that. Nell says that she's tried to downplay the relationship. I don't think she tried to downplay the relationship. Girl, I will say this. Did y'all hear what Melody said? Um, Basically, y'all were not mentoring me. That's how you know that, and that's another thing why I think that it was true that that Nell was mentoring Melody because she said y'all were not mentoring me. Basically, y'all were mentoring Martell because he was the one that was basically cutting up and acting the fool. I feel like they were mentoring Melody and Chris and Nell were mentoring Melody and Martell. And because Melody does live in this, I'm kind of perfect. Like, girl, you wasn't mentoring me, but girl, she kind of was. So, anyways, girl, it is what it is. God, I don't even care. All right, I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night. Bye, y'all.